this game. I think the number one thing is, when we did things correctly, when we executed fundamentally, when we played with good discipline, we had really good success. And that was a little bit too inconsistent in terms of us being able to stack positive performance, play in and play out, in the game. Made a couple of mistakes on defense and gave a couple big plays up that led to their scores. And offensively, we made a lot of good plays, but we also had, too many plays that, were not executed exactly like we wanted, and the result was not always positive. I thought we made some plays in the kicking game, which, blocking a punt, scoring a touchdown, had some positive returns, and especially in punt returns. So there's a lot of good things, in the game, but I think consistency and performance is really what we need to work on in terms of maintaining intensity, staying focused, playing with more discipline, eliminating penalties and poor, full-speed decisions that, are resulting, in penalties. So, you have the players of the week. Obviously this is the SEC opener for us against a very good, top 10 Florida team who we have a tremendous amount of respect for. Obviously looking forward to that challenge, playing on the road, in a difficult place to play. But from an injury standpoint, Will Anderson has been very encouraging. I'd probably take a day off today. He is kind of day to day, but we feel a little more encouraged than maybe after the game. So we'll just see how he progresses through the course of the week. Dan Mullen has done an outstanding job wherever he's been the coach. He did a great job at Mississippi State. Obviously, they won the SEC East last year. Excellent coach, does a great job of utilizing the personnel that he has some really talented guys on offense, really good running backs. Both quarterbacks using a two-quarterback system are very capable passers as well as making plays with their feet, whether it's quarterback runs, play action passes, whatever. And they have, they just got good players. Our offensive line is, improved and, better this year, playing better in my opinion. That's why they're like second in the nation in rushing, which is going to be a real challenge for us, and then not allowing big plays when you're trying to stop the run. Defensively, Todd always presents challenges. He's a really good defensive coordinator. They've got good players. They play hard. They play together. So we're going to have to do a good job of executing, offensively as well. They've always got great team speed, so their special teams are good. They have good specialists. I think their punter is one of the top guys in the country. So all around, this is a very good team. It'll be a very challenging game for us, and so we need to have great focus this week and great preparation.
We'll start with Mike Rodak. Mike, go ahead.
Just how would you evaluate the running back position so far this season, especially some of the younger guys behind Brian?
I think they've done well. I think that, we missed a couple reads, in the game. We could have had much more positive plays, cut some things back that we shouldn't have, didn't hit it downhill when we should have. But I think these are the things that I'm talking about that are good learning experiences for these guys. But, Jace played really well in the game, and, Trey and Roy Dale are both getting more and more experience. So I'm kind of pleased with the way those guys are coming along.
We'll go to Cecil.
Coach, mine is two parts. First, they've used two quarterbacks, and you prepare differently for each one in terms of their skill set. And second, you had two players out in the secondary, Job and Arbor Davis. Just wanted an update on.
Yeah, first of all, they do have a two-quarterback system. I don't think you prepare differently. Both guys have ability to make plays passing, and they run the same sort of quarterback runs with both guys, and both guys are very talented in both areas. So, when the quarterback can run and they run quarterback runs, it's almost like playing against Wildcats, so they've got an extra blocker. but they also have the ability to make big plays in the passing game, which they've made, and been pretty efficient in the passing game. So it's more challenging when you play against, guys, and both guys are very efficient, effective passers as well as runners.
He also asked about you, Jalen.
Yeah, both guys are expected to practice today. We'll kind of see, where they are at practice and how they develop through the course of the week.
Aaron Suttles, go ahead.
Throughout fall camp, there was a competition there on the offensive line at center. How do you sort of evaluate how Darian has played, and how's Chris done at right tackle?
I think both guys have done fairly well, and we just got to focus on improvement and development of more depth, in the offensive line, which we tried to get a few guys in the game last game to try to get them some experience. But I think both guys have played well. I think both guys would probably tell you that there's things that they could do better, and I think both are probably focused on, trying to get those things corrected so they can play better.
We'll go to John Zener with the AP.
Yeah, Coach, could you kind of evaluate how your defense has performed the last couple games? I know there's some things to clean up, but just how it's played so far.
Well, I think at times, if you look at how we played in the first half, I guess we've given up 3 points in 2 games in the first half, and given up 14 and 10 in the second half. So I think we have to sustain consistency in performance. We gave up the 61-yard touchdown in the last game, which was kind of a coverage error on a couple guys' part, and we had a total bust when the twos were in there that gave them another touchdown. But I think at times we've played really, really well. I just think it's the same song, consistency and performance. Can you play for 60 minutes in a game? Can you sustain your performance for 60 minutes in a game? And so that's kind of what we're focused on and what we're trying to get our players to do.
Go to Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach, you talked about playing in a hostile environment. When you have a quarterback that's making his first road start, just what advice do you give him to help him play better?
Well, I think we got a little taste of that playing in Atlanta, even though it wasn't the crowd noise probably there that we'll have this week. Just got to play with poise, and that's one thing that Bryce has done in both games is he's been able to keep his poise. He's able to stay focused on doing things that we need to do, but I think it's the entire offense that has to be able to keep their poise in these situations, whether it's silent snap count or whatever we have to do to be able to operate. I think we have to do it as a unit, and I think it starts with the quarterback, but he has shown really good poise so far this year.
We'll go to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, in general, you've talked in the past about the progress between week 1 and week 2. After you watched the film of Bryce, what did you see in terms of the progress, the little things that he did?
Well, I think Bryce has played well in both games. I don't, like I keep saying this, how did the players around him play? And that's what I think we need to continue to improve on, the overall timing in the passing game, efficiency in runs and RPOs and the things that, we try to tie together in our offense. I think it's the entire unit that has to grow and develop. And, we're making progress. We're not probably there yet, but we're making progress. But I think, Bryce played well in the first game, and I thought he played well Saturday.
Go to Nick Kelly in Tuscaloosa.
You mentioned facing Dan Mullen offenses several times over the years. How have you seen the way that he runs an offense change, if at all, over that span?
Well, it changes relative to the personnel that he has. I think that's what he does, really, really well. They obviously didn't run a whole lot of quarterback runs last year. With the quarterback that they had, he was a really good passer. They had really good skill guys, and they were a great passing team. This year, they're still a really good passing team, but they have the added element of quarterback runs, which when he was at Mississippi State, was sort of the same, kind of, what players do I have? What can they do? And I'm going to make sure these guys are doing the things that they do well. And I think that's what makes him a great offensive coach is he does a great job of utilizing the personnel that he has, getting the ball to playmakers. And if the quarterback has running ability, they'll use them in the running game as well.
We'll go to Matt Marshall with the Orlando Sentinel.
Nick, this is the first time you guys get a chance to go to Gainesville in a while. Is this some opportunity for you guys to play a team that you don't normally see all the time in the regular season? And would you like to see more of these kind of matchups as well?
Well, we did play them in the SEC championship game last year, and obviously, they had an outstanding team. So, look, I don't want to get into the whole scheduling thing, but we played 10 SEC games last year. I thought it was great for fans. I thought it was great for the matchups. I've always been one that advocated playing more SEC games in the regular season so that every player in every program would have the opportunity to play every team in the SEC. So, to answer your question, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Tony Tsoukalas.
What allows Bryce to perform so well when he's under pressure, when he's pressured by the defense? Just what have you seen allows him to do so well in that situation?
Well, I first of all, I think that he's got a really good feel in the pocket, of moving in the pocket and sort of moving away from the rush, stepping up when he needs to step up. He's very quick feet. Got a quick release. He gets his feet back underneath him so that he's throwing the ball on balance and accurately. And then, he's a very bright guy, so he really understands how the other team is trying to pressure and tries to protect himself with the plan that we, try to put together as coaches so we can protect him. And but you got to be able to implement it in the game based on what you're seeing, and he's done a really good job of that to this point.
Okay, and Coach, we got time for one more. We'll finish up with Steven.
Coach, just what's your assessment on the backup quarterback job, and is there a defined number 2 guy behind Bryce right now?
Well, I think that we're trying to get both guys experience because I think that both guys have ability to do certain things, and maybe if something happened to Bryce, would maybe use both guys' skill set, to help us at that position. So I know that doesn't necessarily answer your question, but right now Paul is the second guy, and Jalen is a developmental guy, but doing things that he does well is the best way I guess I could answer that.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.